Okay, so now we have multiplying radicals, all right? So really all you gotta do is multiply the numbers in front of the radical, then multiply the numbers under the radical, then simplify. That's it. So what does that mean? Well, looking right here, I'm gonna do 6 times 2, 12, all right? We're also gonna notice a pattern, radical 2, 4, radical 4. All right, so then I'm going to simplify. Well, 12 already simplified. What's the largest square factor of 4? Well, it's actually a perfect square itself. That becomes 2. So I get 24. That's it. Multiply on the inside, multiply what's on the outside, simplify, so on and so forth. And a little fun fact is radical 2 times radical 2 equals 2. These are like little fun facts. Radical 3 times radical 3, guess what this equals, people? 3. What about like radical 5 times radical 5? What does that equal? 5. You want to see something really crazy? In my head, I know what radical 117 times radical 117 is. It's 117. Why is it? Well, let's look at like a generic case A. Radical A times radical A is going to be the square root of A squared. All right? The square root and square undo each other. All right, so that's going to help us moving forward. It can help us simplify and move a little quicker throughout the unit. All right, so like let's bounce down here using what we just talked about. Well, boom, boom. Now radical 3 times radical 3, I just talked about it. We already know radical 3 times radical 3 is going to equal 3. But let's be a little bit more precise about it just for fun. Radical 9, and as we can see, well, it's radical 9, 3. So it works. And then 81. All right, so this is why multiplying radicals can be beneficial, because I had no clue that 9 radical 3 times 3 radical 3 equaled 81. But as we simplify, it becomes a number more familiar, such as 81. I've heard of that number before. All right, now let's just continue up the top, bouncing all around, keeping you guys on your feet. 10. And then right here, this is it, we're done. Can't be simplified. All right, radical 6 has no square roots, can't be simplified. Its only factors are 3 and 2. Those aren't perfect squares. So sometimes you're done, sometimes your final answer is going to be that, and that's totally fine. All right, cruising right along. Ooh, this one, we're going to start to get a little harder. 2 times 8, 16. Radical 6, radical 3. It's going to be radical 18. All right, so now I need to use a factor tree. All right, now again, what I'm hyper focused on is 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, so on and so forth. What's the largest square factor out of these numbers? Well, it's between 1, 4, 9, and 16 is actually just 9. All right, 9 goes into 18. So I'm going to keep my 16, break this into radical 9, radical 2. And again, be very tedious when you do this stuff. Notice how I'm writing the radicals out. All right, notice how the perfect square goes first. The one that's not the other factor goes last, because then I'm going to get 16, radical 9 becomes 3, radical 2 stays radical 2, and what's 16 times 3? I'm brain farting. Not that. 48. 48 radical 2. And that's it. That's exact. All right, and that's a punchline of what we're doing right now. We want exact answers. Cruising over here. Sometimes maybe write it like this. 10, radical 6. Didn't we already do this problem? No, different problem. Just got up. almost the same. Just got the same answer over here. Ooh, this one's gonna be crazy. 14, radical 16. Now remember, we have radical 16. We easily know that that just simplifies to 4. All right, don't have to do all that work. Just know the square root of 16 is 4, and then we're gonna get 56. So a nice whole clean number. All right, cool, cool, cool. Cruising right along. What do we got here? Challenge problems. This ain't no challenge to me. 6 radical 5 squared. Since this squared right here, remember this just breaks up into 6 radical 5, 6 radical 5. Ooh, we've just been practicing this the whole time. 36. What's radical 5 times radical 5? We know it's 5. All right, you get radical 25, which just simplifies to 5, and this is going to simplify to 180. Similarly, maybe we'll attack this problem a little differently, be a little bit more thorough in our work, but we get 4 radical 2, 4 radical 2. 4 times 4 is 16, radical 2 times radical 2. We know it's 2, but let's just emphasize why it's 2, because it's going to become 6 radical 4. Well, radical 4 is just 2, and then 32. All right, so that's how you multiply radicals. Pretty cool stuff. The last one's going to